What's going on? Let me say hi to everybody. Hi. Move my music over here. Music's off, right? Y'all can hear me all right? I'm gonna pick up the pace on the music on the other side. All right. Much love, CTM fam. What's up, CTM? Everybody in the house. CTM. Love the title. Yeah, I thought we'd have a little fun today. You know, it's been sideways for months. Let's have a little fun finally. Goodness, Bitcoin. About time. About time we broke some levels and did something. There's my rocket ship going the wrong way, exploding. Thanks. Good call to the 120-day SMA. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was that's pretty close to time on the bottom there, huh? Let's see here. Let's see what the 120. Oh, I guess I was off by. Let's see here. 120 was 47,056. It reached 46,962. So, you know, you could either say I was right on because we ticked 46 on most exchanges, but not all of them. Or you could say I was what? Maybe $100 off. $100 off the bottom. Very poor technical analysis, I think. I got 100. I missed it by $100. All right, anyway, what's going on? Bitcoin to 550,000, David. Probably someday. Focus on the technicals. All right, Jerry. I guess I'll focus on the technicals. I'll try. Am I fully positioned now? Yeah, it was as of last night. So you see this chart I have up here? I do this line through here. I kept it really simple. I was like, all right, the absolute bottom is 49 for a double retrace. We came in and I saw, I think I drew it right at that touch and started to recover. And I was like, you know what? Where I got fully positioned back in is when we took out this candle right here. Right, somewhere right through there. So I started buying the dip actually on the breakdown. Let me see if I can find the main chart. I'll show you why I bought the dip. I was just super confident. But I saw it bounce off of this trend line I have cutting through this chart right here. I saw it bounce off of that twice. I actually bought the dip below that. I was like, I'm going to start to nibble here, thinking it could go all the way to 51.3 or 49, so 51.3. Exactly where that is right there. So I had orders in at 51.3, and I had orders in at 49, but I also just manually purchased on this little dip below here, thinking it might recover, and sure enough it did. And then I purchased when we retook this line, and then I purchased the rest right there. So the 3 purchases. So basically, I had one on this level, one coming out of here, one taking this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So six of my 10 orders are in. So I've got 4 more to go above this on entries above. You see this, we're going to be putting in probably a 4-hour CTM entry here in a minute now. Now that we're, the market's closed, but we haven't tripped over the new monthly, right? We haven't closed the monthly just yet. That's in another couple hours on my chart here that I closed the monthly. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong if we've already closed the monthly. I think the dailies and the monthlies close in a few hours on the charts. But the market in New York is closed though. All right. Thank you, thank you. Hey Ace, shame on me. Shame on me for what? Missing that by a few $100. Afternoon, what's up? Heath at Trade Talks in the house. I missed his last one. Yeah. So those are 6 leverage positions I took on. And I'm waiting on the other 4 above this breakout level. All right. I'm going to put on some more fun music for me to listen to while I talk to you guys here. Old school, like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, NSYNC, and Backstreet Boys lately. And it's just like I've been listening to the same kind of like music for a long time. It's like it's so stupid music, but it's actually kind of fun to listen to for a short while. I'll get sick of it here in a little bit. That's what my YouTube algorithm decided I need to listen to. All right, hi from Panama. All right, let's take a look at enough personal silly stuff. Let's take a look at my. I started working on price targets on my futures chart, and the reason is I'm trying to navigate around this gap, which is just the most beautiful thing. If you guys don't know what an island reversal is, well, hold on. Let's start out with. All right, this is for Ace. Ace, can you maybe do a live stream someday? Let's do it today, Ace. Explaining all your predictions and targets because you got me lost a little. Now, this is our superstar 16-year-olds in CTM. This is a Discord chat, right? So if you're not on Discord with us, you got to get on Discord with us. But you know, I was fast and furious, posted a bunch of price target charts because people started talking about it. And for me, I want to keep looking forward. We broke these levels. We're full on breakout. You look at this. This is a simplified chart of my Coinbase chart. We're full on breakout. We broke out through all these levels, and now it's the pressures to the upside, right? The downside move is over. It's over. And now the pressures to the upside. And so what I expect to happen, I've been saying it for a while, I expect us to gap up above this. Now, I expected us to put in a gap this weekend. I totally forgot that there was a gap to be filled on the other direction. So we're not going to fill this gap. We're going to do an island reversal pattern. I'm almost telling you guys. We should open Monday morning above 60,000. That's my guess right now. We're going to, over the weekend, we're going to gap up here and open above 60,000. This is what's going to put an island reversal. Let me just Google island reversal for y'all if I don't know. Island reversal. If you don't know what these are, basically it's when you gap up after hours, you trade at, and then you gap back down below, right? This isn't a reversal, you know, a top pattern, but it happens both directions. If you do the same thing in the reverse, you have a island reversal pattern to the upside, right? So I expect this to be like an epic island, little island here of price action below this gap. And that's if that happens, right? If that plays out super bullish, and that gap may never get filled. I expect there's going to be a gap that we never fill. That all the bears are constantly clamoring about and getting wrecked. It's kind of why I titled this video the way I titled it, because there's going to be some level the bears are just going to get wrecked trying to play. So the price targets I have now, I want to tell you one other thing. I figured out something. I figured out why my fib levels were not working out for me, and I figured out how to fix it. This is really exciting, actually. I'm really excited that I finally figured out. I don't know why I was so stupid. It took me so long to figure out why my fib extensions and retraces are not. In crypto, I just couldn't get them where I liked them. And I used to use them very successfully with equities. But I could never get them quite right. But this is right. This is right. I like this fib extension level. Now, I need to probably dial it in. I did it real fast. But I do like what I came up with. All right? So you see here that we're... if we gap up here and get into this new area past this resistance, if we gap up past this resistance, we might go on an epic run all the way up to, really, we're going to have a lot of resistance here. At 618, which is 82, is going to give us some good resistance. And then the 786 at 91 is going to give us some good resistance. But I expect us to keep running all the way up till we hit this an even impulse to the last time. So a 1.0 will be the same size impulse that we had before. So back at the same size impulse. If we put in the same size impulse that I used to measure this, and I'll explain how I got the impulse, that puts us at a price target of 102,995, as you can see here on my fib extension chart. And is my music going to the next song? I need it to keep playing. Keep playing. Find more music. All right. So what's really cool about this level is if we have the exact same size impulse and we hit resistance somewhere right around this 102, I had actually drawn, you see this little red line? I had drawn this in before I did the fib levels when I was trying to find where we would be for a 40% sell-off to take us to the top of this gap. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's pretty likely that we're gonna make a big run here. And then we're going to reverse hard and have a really bad 40% sell-off that's going to take us right to the top of this gap that we're about to put in. And you're going to have all the bears in the world just piling in down here at the bottom, thinking this gap's about to get closed, and it's going to rip in the other direction, their faces off. And that's going to be so much fuel for blasting right through 100. Look, how perfectly scripted is this? It's insane how perfectly scripted this has become. Watch this. Just watch. All right. All this consolidation, all this fuel that's built up, and we gap up here. Maybe we hit this, and the bears are trying to fight, thinking they're going to get this gap filled, and they never get it filled, and it just rips their face off, right? And they're just really hurting. And then as the market comes back down, it's screaming back down here, 40% terrible sell-off, and they're just piling in right here, waiting for this little bit of area to close, and it never does, and rips their face off even worse. This is why it's called, this is why I think Jordan called it melt your face off. If you're on the wrong side of this trade, you're not going to recover. This is going to wreck you bad. So stay on the right side, people. All right. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks, Heath. It's 8 p.m. Eastern? Yeah, okay. When the charts roll over. Right on the money. Thoughts on ETH, BTC, and HNT? The BTC mini futures start trading Monday. Any thoughts on how that might affect Bitcoin? Government institution manipulation? I'm not going to overthink it. You know, we'll just have to see what happens when we get there. I don't want to try to predict what's going to happen with mini futures launching. I mean, ultimately, I think it probably brings more interest in the space, but I don't really know. I don't know. I don't have a good thought on that. Sorry. But yeah, I wanted to show. Okay, how did I get this fib extension level? Here's what I figured out. I've been trying to do what I used to do and do daily fib extension levels, and crypto is just way too noisy. So I used to do, daily fib extension levels, and I would use those intraday for trading. Well, that works well because equities only trade 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then you have a lot of like gaps in there. But the dailies, like, there's a lot more you get out of daily price action. It moves a lot. It's not as sporadic. Crypto trades 24/7, 365, and just dailies are just way too noisy for trying to get fib extension levels. So what I figured out, it's a simple thing, I have to go to the weeklies and the monthlies. And when I started drawing fib extensions and fib levels on the weeklies and monthlies, oh my goodness, it all starts lining up. So here's my fib extension levels on those. I did the monthly. So I just started at the bottom of this impulse that started in September. So you see here, we had one continuous green monthly impulse from the bottom of this red wick. Now, because I'm doing monthlies, it's a really broad price spectrum. I'm not doing bodies. I'm doing wicks. Okay, so because there's a lot of time that we spent up on the upper and bottom end of these wicks. So I went with the wicks. So if you look at the very bottom here, this is the bottom wick of the first bearish candle coming out of September, and I probably should have started at the bottom of this bullish candle. That's where I should have started. Okay, so this is the start of the impulse, and you can start it there or there or whatever. And then you go up to the peak of this red candle here, and then back to the bottom of this red candle. Now, this is only going to work if the next candle's green, right? If the next candle's green, then we got good levels, and I would suspect the next candle's going to be green. Now, because if we put it in a lower low, obviously it just completely changes everything. But if we resume up here and break through this initial 6360 level, I like this fib extension work here. Okay, so that's just what I did. I use the monthly, and so basically, if you see the size of the impulse from the beginning of October through the peak that we put in the beginning of April here in April, down to the bottom price action in April, you use that same exact impulse size. So we start at 9,300 up to 65, whatever. The same level puts us at, if I did a small tweak to the levels there, so it's 102,515 now. But you get it right over $100,000, and then we should hit this, this double. So basically, the exact same wave size, exact same impulse size would put us right there at 102. Now again, we'll probably the 618 and the 786 are going to come into play for sure. So you'll have what I would anticipate is like a bull flag forming through there. Something like that. All right, I'm gonna have to put on some music. What? YouTube, just put it on a continuous play. You dumb thing. Why is my? Oh, that's why. Here we go. I got fun music. Y'all ever heard the song "Blinding Lights" by The Weeknd? That's a good song. I can't play it because YouTube will yell at me. But it's a really fun song, so I'm going to play that. My head over here. Blinding Lights, The Weeknd. If you want to listen to it with me, it's a fun song. Let's find it. Oh, Fits in the Tantrum is a good one too. Blinding Lights, The Weeknd. This is what I'm playing in my head right now. Fun song, fun song. All right. Yes, epic song. I like. Cool. Yeah, big props for recommending Matic before it was even Polygon. No problem. Yeah, so I did a video. I didn't realize I had to go back. It's like I remember talking about it and bringing it up, and I remember I went and bought a little bit, right? I was like, all right. I try to listen. Like when I recommend something, I go and I either have just bought it or I bought it right after. A lot of times, right after I talk about it is when I go buy it out of principle. But yeah, so I talked about Matic way back over here in January. I did a video like early January. It was 2 cents, and I bought it at like 2 cents. USD, I guess, is what the price was. I was looking at the Bitcoin chart, so I don't really know. Like, I wasn't thinking that it was 2 cents when I bought it. I just thought, I bought it with some Bitcoin or Ethereum. I don't remember. But yeah, I remember buying it back here. I did a video back here, 2 cents. And look what it's done ever since then. Anyway, that was me just looking forward, going, you know what? We need to look at Ethereum scaling solutions because gas fees are starting to get really high back here. This started becoming a real topic. And sure enough, ended up being a good call. Blinding lights equals Bitcoin laser eyes. I'm in a good mood, in case y'all can't tell. I got sick of like sweating out at hearing all these people. Like, there's so much noise out there. Oh, we've lost momentum. Bitcoin's lost momentum. Oh, I'm a nuclear physicist. We're gonna crash to 20,000. Whatever. These people don't know what they're talking about. Like, we've been waiting forever. Where's the 50? Yeah, we're right back into the 50. Look at that. By the way, what's the resistance we're fighting with right now? Wonder what line that is. Is that a 50-day moving average cutting right through price action? No. No. Hold on, let's remove all the lines. I feel like the Emperor. No. All right, remove drawings. Look at that. Moving averages don't matter, guys. They're useless. Anyway, moving on. That's the only two you need, though, with Bitcoin. It's the 50 and the 120. You don't need anything else. Let's get rid of anything else. Everything else is noise. If you're using EMAs, by the way, get rid of them. They're noise. That's my opinion. Sorry, I've used them. I've used EMAs. They're just so. Anything that's like a smaller moving average, especially an EMA, it's highly subjective, and obviously it's biased to there's just so many of them. What you want to use as indicators that a lot of people use, because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you use something that everybody has on their charts, then it's unpredictable, like exactly right. Like this is going to be really unpredictable behavior right around. Because like right now what we're doing is we're cutting straight through the 50-day moving average right now. It's going to be super unpredictable right on top of it. It's just going to wiggle all over the place, and you're not going to know what's going on. And you can't trade right on it or right around it, but you can trade once you clearly break above it or clearly break below it. That's super tradable information, right? Like this coming into it, this is, if you're trading on a really short time frame, this is absolutely no man's land trying to trade, where the level is coming through right here. You never figure out what's going to happen because it's going to fake you out all kinds of directions. But once you break it and you get some resumption off of it, or these support levels, like I'm gonna show you. Look, I'm gonna show you something with the 120-day SMA. It's as simple as this is so simple. All this noise about Tesla and blah 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 blah. I'm gonna remove everything on the chart. This is where I buy Tesla. When you drop below the 120, you buy. Let me go back. No, yeah, I mean, Tesla started this insane run, right? The last time you go, look at Amazon. All right, this is my Amazon chart. You want to know a good place to buy Amazon? Just put this line on your chart. Just put this one line on your chart, and anytime we break above it, you buy a little. Break above it, buy a little. Anytime you break below it, you might shave a little. It's that simple. I mean, this thing's super stinking predictable because institutions use it. And what this is doing is this is front running. This is sitting between the 100 and the 200, really. And so this is kind of front running a lot. But look how the price action hugged that line on Amazon. I mean, it didn't have to be rocket science. You get really far away from it, sell a little. Get below it, buy a little. Just pivot around it all day long. If all you did was sit here and look at this one little line and said, you know what, we're below it, I'm going to buy, below it, I'm going to buy, below it, I'm going to buy. We're getting pretty far above it, I'm going to sell. We're below it, I'm going to buy. Oh, way below it, I'm going to buy a little more. Buy. And man, we're really far away from it now. We're really detached from it. I'm going to sell a little. All right, we're below it, I'm going to buy. If all you did was that, come on now. Simple. Trading should be simple. All right, enough of that. But in a bull market, you touch this little yellow line or orange line, you buy. You get really far removed from it, you get defensive. That simple. All right, let's look at comments. Time to short people FOMOing long. Display ZZZ. Yeah, I mean I FOMO'd long, so let me share something with you. So we got display ZZZ saying it's time to short people FOMOing long. If you're talking about me, let me show you where I FOMO'd long. Let's see here. Hold on. My very first purchase of Bitcoin was 2015. It was over here when I mined some, and then bought a little over here and sold a little right there because I was nervous. And I think I bought some more like right here and sold over here because I know what was going on. I had no idea. All I know is it was going way up. And then, yeah, I FOMO'd in right here. Right here. Yeah, I was watching this. We was heading for a breakout. So if you want to say that I FOMO'd, sure. I FOMO'd in right here on this break. This is where I went all in on Bitcoin. And so all the stuff I'm talking about adding, and so this is me trimming and buying back. Same exact strategy I was just talking about. We get too far detached, I trim. This one I got caught by. This one I thought, this one faked me out, right? Y'all know I did it right 3 times. I trimmed here, bought back here. I trimmed there, I bought back there. Trimmed there, I bought back there. This time, faked me out. I thought we were going another impulse up before coming back, but I was ready. We got out of our trades here and got back in heavy here and on resumption off of there. But that's all shaving a position I started with down here, and since before you knew what Bitcoin was. Really, I mean, I've had Bitcoin for long before you knew what it was. So yeah, we're all FOMOing in over here at CTM since 8,000. I'll take it. But we're just managing our trade at this point. Like most of us in CTM, or a lot of us, are in since 8,000, 6,000, you know, maybe 14,000 for some people, 18,000 even. We're just managing the trade now. So we're buying back in what we trimmed to be defensive. So anyway, if that's FOMO, then okay, cool. I FOMO'd my way to 10x, so sure. Being a little bit spicy there, I guess. I actively looked at the MA 120 during the low. He was epic. No problem. Listen to who's been correct. He doesn't have the correct overall picture to work from. Oh, we're talking about the nuclear physicist dude? Or other people? People saying that we've lost momentum. And when I saw that, I saw somebody post some supposed reputable trader saying that we lost momentum. Like, what? These people are just yapping about. Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, sure, we've lost momentum. I've got a bajillion giant green monthly candles, and then I've got a slightly red candle with a huge wick on the bottom side. This is a decision candle, right? It's spinning top. It could, sure, but you know, people will look at that and get faked out by it. I'm gonna show you what another one of those, couple of those look like. Last time we had something that looked a lot like that was right about here. Looks like Bitcoin lost momentum right here, guys. It's losing momentum. We can't sustain this bubble. Anyway. Upside target. So anything else we want to talk about here? I got people asking me about ETH BTC. I've been saying for a long time. I think Bitcoin's about to flex his muscles, and he's gonna put the screws to altcoins, namely Ethereum. Ethereum's had its run. Ethereum's had a nice little run here. It's not gonna last much longer. I mean, I like Ethereum. It's gonna move up versus like the USD chart is gonna look great, but this Bitcoin chart, we broke out nicely. Let's see where we're at actually. Let's look at my Ethereum Bitcoin chart. It's a little bit messy. I'm sorry. What the heck? All right, so we got a lot of room to move. Here's the thing: these levels of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, I don't know that Ethereum's gonna see these type of peaks. And this is what happened here. Just so y'all know, this 2017 one, this was as Bitcoin was selling off and Ethereum was going up at the same time. So obviously that inversion creates a huge spike in price as money was flowing from Bitcoin into Ethereum as the quote-unquote alternative. The difference, here's the problem I have with forecasting this right now. And the reason I went ahead and shaved my 20% on this spike up here. I shaved 20% of my Ethereum, just FYI. The reason is, what I don't know, and it very well could take back off, and sure, I'll be happy to get back into some trades if I see really good signs of resumption above this. Like I saw this little trend line right there, you saw. We fell back below it. We get back above that and resume up, then I'll change my stance a little bit. But you know, last market cycle, everybody's looking for the next Bitcoin, and there is no, you know, and now I think people realize there's no next Bitcoin. Ethereum is something totally different than Bitcoin, but at the time, the reason those charts were all crazy, the reason this looks like this for this last cycle, is this is massive FOMO that was going on in the space as Bitcoin's selling off, looking for the next Bitcoin, thinking, oh, this could replace Bitcoin and Ethereum are two totally different things. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, Bitcoin's a store of value, currency, whatever you want to call it. Ethereum's a decentralized compute platform. That's all it is. A decentralized, globally distributed compute platform that you can build computational elements on, distributed, and it's really good at doing things related to, you know, finance. But they can do all kinds of things. You know, it doesn't have to be DeFi or whatever else. It can do all kinds of things. But it's totally different. It's a platform. It's like comparing gold to Google. I mean, Bitcoin's gold and Ethereum's Google. I mean, or it's like comparing gold to the internet or something, right? Ethereum's more like the internet, and Bitcoin's more like gold. It's pretty much that simple. So yeah, I don't have a good way of forecasting what this is going to do. Now, again, after the Bitcoin sell-off, we'll probably get a nice big spike, something like this. But we broke out here, so we got to keep an eye on it for sure. But yeah, ETH BTC, I think in the very immediate future, if you look at all this consolidation Bitcoin's had, it's really due for a nice big move, and it's just going to suck the life out of a lot of altcoins. And his big cousin Ethereum, I think, is the biggest that's going to get hit. So that's just what I think. I think some altcoins are going to front run Bitcoin as Bitcoin moves up. ADA is a really good candidate for that because ADA has been consolidating along with Bitcoin. You notice ADA has just totally been going sideways with Bitcoin. So ADA is actually down. So February 27th, before, there's been so much insanely bullish news for Cardano since then. And so we are currently down roughly 10% over the last 62 days. And so that's a beautiful set of consolidation. We're back in the channel here that I had this bottom channel. We got to retake some levels here, but I do think if you look at ADA BTC, it actually already broke out. We're above this level right here, and we have a second bigger breakout level coming. Similar to Ethereum, you know, I don't know how high if this can reach these levels it reached before, but a lot of these projects are going to front run probably, but I think Ethereum, I don't know, Ethereum's there's a lot of super bullish stuff going on with Ethereum. The biggest thing with Ethereum, it has competition. Cardano and Polkadot are going to be competition for Ethereum. They're going to steal, quote unquote, some market share. They're all probably going to thrive. I don't think Ethereum's going to die or anything. It's just a matter of it's not going to have the same dominance that it had before. But the whole space is growing so fast that Ethereum will probably grow even though it's, quote unquote, losing market share. It's just that Cardano and Polkadot will probably grow faster because they're going from nothing. They're going to grow a lot faster than Ethereum. That's why they'll probably outperform. But Bitcoin has no competition. There is nothing like it. It's the only thing that there is. It's like gold. Gold doesn't have competition. I mean, silver, I guess, maybe. But Bitcoin doesn't have competition. So Bitcoin's superior to gold in that. It doesn't have any competition. All right, let's go back to comments here. So Display ZZZ says FOMO long from 55K, laugh out loud. So you think long 55K at resistance and short support? What resistance? Okay, well, I mean, we're above 55K. So we broke through 55K resistance. The main resistances are right as we cut through this weekly right here is the main resistance. 55,751 was the last main resistance I knew about. We're through it. Yeah, I mean, you can't. Here's the thing. I think it goes just. at the end of the day, ask a 5-year-old what direction it's going. This is a weekly. Ask its 5-year-old what direction this is going. If your 5-year-old thinks this is going down, you need to get his head checked. Okay? This is going up. So your bias has to be to the upside until the trend changes. Like at a macro sense, right? Yeah, so if you're trading on like a minute chart, then help you. I'm sorry. I really feel for you. You should probably get checked into a mental hospital if you're trading on 1-minute charts. But like it's going up. And so you have to maintain a bullish bias until the trend clearly changes. And for me, it's a simple thing. There's 2 ways to tell if a trend changes. You draw a prime trend line. If you lose your prime trend line, then your trend might be changing. So there could be a prime trend line. I could see you arguing this point. Cutting through here somewhere. I have a hard time actually really finding that. What I see is consolidation. But nonetheless, the other thing is this line right here, this little magic orange line. If you get below that and you close below it, and you come back into it and find it as resistance, and then you get rejected, then you know you're on the other side and the trend has now changed. It's that simple. This little magic line is going to tell you when your trends change. Okay? If you're above this yellow line, this orange line, you got to stay bullish. You're just going to get just destroyed by the market. Let me show you how this looks. Over here, anybody who tried to short this instrument above this line, they were getting wrecked, right? All through here. So from the last time it traded meaningfully below it was way over here. Right here. Over here. Probably. Dang bears never learn. What's your opinion on VeChain? I love VeChain. Great project. It's a little ahead of its skis now. I mean, that was one of my top. I did a top recommendations for 2021. Small cap gems, and it was the biggest. I said in that video though, like that's not really a small cap gem, but I'm putting it on here because I think it can really move big. So it was one of my 4 small cap gem predictions, and if I can find a chart for it, I'm just gonna type it in because it's gonna take me for a bet. Let's just look at the BTC chart. I think it's gonna be most valuable. Yeah, you see how it's really moved a lot. It's out ahead of its skis a little bit. I expect a lot of consolidation here, but yeah, it was my back here. It was my recommendation. This right here. In December, coming into 2021, I did a pair of videos. The top small cap cryptos for 2021. Somewhere in here I did this video, and VET was one of them. The other one was API 3. Let me show you all the performance of these picks. Coming out at the beginning of the year for 2021, API 3 from $1.50 to 7. VXV. VXV versus USD rocked it, so it went from 20 cents to $2. Now it doesn't look that good on the ETH chart, but most of us sold out here. So I got you in here, got you out here, or I tried to, if you listened. But this is I don't have a, and then the other one was Engine. Of course, everybody's gonna look like a genius picking cryptos right now, but yeah, Engine, when I recommended it was 10 cents, it's now 270, 280. Those are my crypto. HNT. Yeah, take a look at HNT. Beautiful looking chart. You're definitely moving up, moving in the right direction. Like pretty much anything in crypto these days, though. But let's look at the BTC chart, because you're probably not taking leverage trades on this. So really, what matters is, are you beating Bitcoin? And if you're beating Bitcoin, you're doing good. You're stacking sats. Good job. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, you're maintaining this nice little uptrend here. You're getting some nice consolidation here. It's pretty easy trade right here, honestly. So you see this, a little bit of consolidation you're into. Go to the daily here, your daily support. I mean, you're gonna have support right here. But really, I mean, you can take a stab at buying off a support on this type of thing. You know, it's moved a lot. You break out above this level and you're trade on. This is a little bull flag. They're looking pretty good. I don't have any thoughts. Let's look at the project real fast. HNT. I don't remember what HNT is, to be honest with you. Oh, it's Helium. Okay. It's 82 right now. Market cap is $1.4 billion market cap. An IoT. Is this the one that does? Is this the wireless thing? Yeah, this is a proof of coverage. Proof of coverage. This is. Let me just go to the website. I'm pretty sure this is that proof of coverage. Yeah. So it's the wireless. So you buy a little AP. It's like proof of work, but with proof of coverage. So if you're providing a useful service to people, then and so the coverage map. It looks neat. It's a neat project. I forgot when I did a dive on this. You have to go back. I mean, I'd have to go find it for you and clip it out. I had somebody ask about this project. I went and did some research on it. Like the next couple of lives, I talked about it for a few minutes, and I found some what I thought were a little bit of holes in the upside of it. Really, I forget exactly what it was. It has something to do with the market potential of it. I don't really remember. But let's look. I've zoomed in automatically where I live, huh? Is it global? Yeah. Look at that. Europe's got a lot. Cool project. I like it. I'm not. My problem. That's what it was. My problem with the project is rewards associated with this are tied to a capital expense. So you have to invest capex into the wireless infrastructure, and I just don't know how the ROI is going to work out on that type of thing. So, but it's definitely got some potential. Oh, Starlink. Starlink's the other thing. I honestly, legitimately, would be concerned about Starlink. Which is a centralized SpaceX-based internet solution. So could really hurt something like that. OMG. Oh my goodness, Doge. My brother bought Doge. Are you on here, Tanner? You on here? My brother told me, so I did some analysis for him. My brother's like, I bought like a little Doge and I'm up like 400%. I was like, fine. So what I did is I looked at the chart real fast for him. I said, all right, here's what I see. Let's get rid of these lines that they're useless. Here's your levels. I said, there's daily levels. Yeah, pick the daily levels here. I said, if you break up, this is the scenarios I gave him. I literally just said, all right, see this little consolidation pattern? Here's the possibilities. Either you break up, you get rejected here. It's a false break up, and you end up breaking down, or you break up, break out, and then you're headed up to so now you're breaking out of 32, you're going to go to 41, or you break down out of this and you test set 27, who knows from there where. Those are the three scenarios I said. This is what's obviously what's going to happen here, and the reason I picked that is because you had this little bit of resistance coming right out of this. But yeah, it broke through right through that. It's come back to test that. Yeah, so Doge is probably going back to 41 cents at least. Good trade, potentially a good trade. I might look at picking it up myself. I've been saying if I can find a good trade, I'll take it, no problem. I'm not gonna buy it and hold it and everything, but it's because I'm concerned that if these type of smaller projects pump too much, and then they especially in the bear market when they really sell off really bad and hurt a lot of people, because it's gonna happen, right? They might not. They'll be okay for the bull market. They'll just continue riding this wave for the most part. But in the bear market, this project is probably going to get slammed. And if it gets slammed enough people get hurt, then it's going to give an excuse for regulators to come in and do a bunch of dumb stuff, which is probably what's going to cause the bear market anyway. Regulation, if you think about it, I mean, that just makes the most sense in the world as to what's going to cause the bear market. A bunch of regulation hitting the space. Or rumors of regulation, whatever, even if it's not real. All right, I'm going to put on some different music here. But yeah, Doge is breaking up, so worth the trade. Worth the trade, probably. Not financial advice, van by the river. Did I start with that? I didn't say that. I got my new van by the river. Darn it. I showed this, but I forgot to do mine. All right, anything you hear here, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is not financial advice. One of our CTM members shared this with me. I love it. If you end up listening to my advice, because I'm an idiot, you're going to lose 1,000% of your money, and you'll be living in a van down by the river. And down here we'll add a happy little van down by the river. Love it. Where's my other memes I got? Ace. All right, Ace, did I answer your question, bud? Ace, I'll look at your EGOD here in a second, Ace. DOT's not performing as well as let me look at all of Ace's messages. Hold on, he's put a few in here. Dot's not performing well. Yeah, I mean, these things don't get depressed. You have to hold these bigger projects, and they're great. They trade technically pretty well, but you just have to, once you win a winning trade on them, or if you're holding them, you just have to hold them and wait for the big spikes, because they just, you know, you get a bunch of hype cycle and they'll spike hard, right? All about Dot, ADA, Link, and you shave a little bit, and then you buy back when it falls off a little bit, right? But you have to be patient, because you can't predict exactly when they're going to break out. They just kind of just randomly do. So that's that. On Ace, on Dot, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Dot's going to be huge this year. ADA is going to be a little bit bigger, I think, but Dot, who knows? Dot could outgain ADA. I could be wrong about that. I don't think so, but all right. Thanks, Ace. And then EGOD. Oh, hold on, we gotta go for the Bears. Have fun staying poor. Never learn. Never learn. Let's pick the top. Let's pick the top on something that's like raging upward ridiculously fast. But we're gonna try to pick the top. We're not below that magic orange line, so it's probably gonna continue going up unless it gets below it. But I'm gonna try to pick the top. These things, like, look, when something's moving up this much, okay, when you see, here's another small hint for you guys. Small tip. When you see a chart looks like this, that's pretty up. What you're looking for is, well, that could be a blow up top. But I'm about to say this, so I'm like, well, what you're looking for on like a reasonable time frame, like you look at the daily, it's definitely up, but you didn't see this. It's just gapping up like crazy, like this. And you see this, like these huge surges upward. That's a blow off top. That's what you're looking for. Like a move where it's like you're up in 2 days. This thing was up. If we're ever up 70% in 2 days, the party's probably over. It is probably time to start taking profits and get the heck out of Doge. Let's made that one up. How did I not get that one before? Get the heck out of Doge. Oh my. It was right there the whole time. All right, we got it now. Get the heck out of Doge. But yeah, let's see here. Do we have a 70% move in 2 days? Well, let's see here. I got a 20%. That's pretty good. I got Tesla announcing that they're putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I got a 20% move in that 1 day. That's pretty good. Nope, I don't see anything close to a 70% in 2 days. Do you guys? Let's see there. I got about a 20% in a bunch of days. Yeah, no 50+% in a day or two. No blow off top. No blow off toppy. No problem, Mr. T. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Heck out of Doge. Yes, these are dad jokes for sure. My son's gonna hate me. When he understands what I'm saying, my son's gonna hate me. He's like 17 months just yesterday, I think. 17 months. So he's got a ways to go until he really understands what that dad's got terrible jokes. That is totally a dad joke right there. What else? Ace asked about a project I haven't looked at yet for him. Let's see here. Ace, what was your project? EGOD. I'm sorry, bud. I don't know what EGOD is. Did you mean EGLD? Elrond? Because EGOD, I don't know what that is. But EGLD, Elrond's. Alright, Elrond. I'm going to say this right now. I was wrong about Elrond. Not that I ever didn't like it, but I don't know, a couple months ago. Maybe a month ago now. I really did a deep dive. This spike right here. I was like, alright, this is moving more than I kind of thought it would. Right through here. So I did my research on it. Now I've never bought it. I'll be totally honest, I've never bought it. But after researching it, I think that Elrond as a platform is a tier above a lot of the other competitors. I still think Polkadot and Cardano are clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. But below them, Elrond is kind of in a tier of its own. Because I had pinned Elrond in the same category as like Zilliqa and maybe Algorand and some of the other Steller. I mean, Steller is kind of like a tier even below them. Stellar's super liquid, and I like trading it. It's great trades. Yeah, I mean, for me, like the top tier are Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cardano. To me, they're all top tier. And Ethereum obviously didn't have the same technology that even like Zilliqa or anything has right now. But Ethereum with the layer 2 scaling and, you know, for many reasons, you know, you have to keep them as quote unquote top tier. But let's the Ethereum competitors, top tier, Polkadot, Cardano. You know, Link is a different thing. It's Oracle space. It's look at a monopoly basically on the Oracle space right now. And, you know, like LRC and Matic are scaling solutions, but core platforms, Cardano, Polkadot. But then below them, I think Elrond is the next best. They're really good. I was really impressed when I started reading the white papers. They have a lot more going for them than I kind of thought. So here's how I would put it. Like, I'm just gonna put my top tier, right? So these are ETH competitors. So ETH is over here on the side. He's Poppy, and all of his his big brother and his little brothers Ada and Dot are up here at the top. To me, the best two competitors potentially. And then you've got EGLD, kind of in a tier of his own, because I think he's better than Zilliqa. And Tezos is maybe in here. And XTZ. And, you know, you got your Algo. I would say out of these, the one I'm about to name, Algo and Zilliqa are definitely stronger. But you got, you know, EOS has fallen off. Avalanche, and a bunch of others. Anyway, well, not tier. I need to do some more research on a couple other up-and-coming. Now the other ones are the dark. If y'all want some super dark horses, right? I've talked about HBAR, IOTA. This is the third one. It's a graph-based. These are dark horses for next cycle. And we need to watch the development of these guys closely, but they're going to be a next cycle thing. They've got a lot of work to do to figure out graph-based decentralized ledgers, and then the decentralized computational element on top of that's even more complicated. So it's going to be a long time until they're super viable, but they're tradable, obviously, but not super viable, I'd say. Anyway, all right, back to comments. So I hope that answered your question on. I hope that it was EGLD. Oh, very good, Ace. Yeah, so that was EGLD. Well, thanks for the analysis, but you didn't see the new Elon Musk meme tweet. EGOD is Doge reversed. Oh, my goodness. All right, thanks, man. You trolled me. You got me there. Can I look at Qtum? Carl, yeah. Quantum, Qtum, Qtum. I've looked at this before. The 78 market cap of 1.5 billion. Oh, man. Way back here in 2018 had a big market cap. POS platform. Yeah, I did look at them. Okay, here, hold on. Depause. What was it about them that I didn't like? I did some reading on them. Somebody's asked me about this before a couple times. Proof of stake 3.0. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty. I actually thought they had a lot going. Here's the big thing in this space. You have to have well-connected people at the top. And I think their team, if I look at the team here. Oh, they're based out of like Singapore, right? Or something like that. You have to be really well connected. And that's kind of my concern with some of these projects is I don't know that they have necessarily the connections to close deals and things like that. I think they're based in Singapore. I'm trying to remember. Somebody put it in comments. I don't follow this project very closely. And I looked at their, hold on, about, where's their white paper at? Oh, developer maybe. Come here. There we go. Let's look at the developer. Blah, 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 marketing, blah, 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 blah. Proof of stake, spread all over the world, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. On-chain governance based on DGP. So I have to, there's something, yeah, I've looked at this before. I can never remember the details of these projects, man. Too busy like looking at the big ones and watching charts. Yeah, it looked pretty good. I think my biggest concern with them, and I'm just trying to remember if there was something else technically. Was just, are they really well connected enough to make a you know to onboard projects and get deals with big, like you look at what Cardano's done, right? They're announcing that they're going to be doing the identity services for public education in Ethiopia, and then they have another big project in Tanzania, and they're closing deals with nation states. Now, again, these are African nation states, but that's kind of their focus, right? They're focused on kind of helping the underserved and underdeveloped, areas have access to tools that allow them to compete with the rest of the world. And if they can do that, if they can be that interface that allows, Africa to compete with the rest of the world, that's super valuable. And they have those levels of connections, and they're brokering deals with nation states. That's a big part of the puzzle that I think people miss. And this is why I'm so bullish on Cardano. Is just, I love Gavin Wood of Polkadot, but this is why I have Cardano a notch above of Polkadot. Technically speaking, Polkadot's super advanced, right? And they've got a lot of things going for them. They've got some of the best. Their founder Gavin Wood is one of the brightest minds in the space, but he is a hardcore engineer, and I don't know that he's got the ability to broker really large connections and deals. Whereas Charles Hoskinson is more of he's a technical project manager almost, right? And so he speaks the language of business, and he speaks to people, and he motivates people, and he blah 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 blah. So just as that figurehead, that to me is a big piece of the puzzle. And you look at Ethereum, they've got a huge community, but Vitalik is a Gavin Wood type, right? They're just total techie gearheads, and they're not really out there trying to broker deals with nation states or whatever, right? They're out there just hacking away at building cool technology, which is great. But that ability to go shake hands with, leaders of entire nations and broker deals with them is a big deal. So, long story short, Quantum may have good technology, but I don't know, or Qtum, I forget how they say there. Double check that, make sure I get that right. It's just Qtum. I keep wanting to call it Quantum, I don't know why. Qtum. That's my biggest question, is do they have the ability, and there's a bunch of other ones like this that I don't know that their team was well connected as maybe. Oh, Patrick Dye, that's right, I heard that. Yeah, okay, never mind. He's pretty well known in the space, actually. I just not noticed he's a founder here. So we'll see. This is a project worth tracking for sure. I need to do a little more deep dive on it. Back to comments. .USD. Oh my God, USD. Let's look at the Qtum chart real fast, and I'll move on. This looks like I'm starting to see they all look the same to me. Look kind of like the Bitcoin chart. I mean, you can see just look on this chart. I think I started looking at it earlier here. You're right into resistance right there. I mean, I'm just going to draw a horizontal here because I know the Heath levels are probably going to work really, really well. But you can kind of see, you kind of have this pretty tight range right here. So yeah, I mean, you're kind of in a no man's land decision point as far as I can tell. Bias to the upside. Remember, we're still going up. You're holding this trend line here, so your bias is to the upside. So I wouldn't short this into resistance, obviously. I'd have a long bias on this thing. When you break out here, then you might look at putting a trade on or adding some or whatever you're gonna do with it. Let's look at some charts. Let's just jam through some charts. I got people asking me about different charts. .USD, here's my dot chart. I think it looks fine. It's going to pop hard soon. Don't worry about it. I was watching. I put a big trade on. I'll tell you, I have a big full-size trade on because I could put a tight stop loss. Right here, I put a big full-size trade on right there. With a stop just like somewhere down, pretty tight. For crypto, an exceedingly tight stop. Because I was very, very confident that this support, I could just tell by the price action, this support was probably going to hold. Because I was also expecting, because Bitcoin had kind of bottomed, and I was expecting the recovery here a little bit. And sure enough, it's been holding, and we've been ranging here. Now we're consolidating beautifully above this other resistance. Let me show you this resistance on the daily. See that right there? This is a Heath level. Thanks, Heath. So yeah, this is a nice little Heath level. We broke out above it. We're solidly in a channel. It's right in the middle of my channel I've got here. Beautiful. I think it's going to push to the upside of this channel sooner rather than later. This is the USD chart. It's going to follow Bitcoin. Now the .BTC chart, not quite as pretty, but not bad either. I mean, you see here, we had this big spike back in August. And my Binance chart didn't go back far enough. Sorry about that. I had this very key level. This is a key breakout level for me. As long as we hold above, let me get rid of this now. As long as we hold above this prior high back in August level, this is beautiful. We're just consolidating above that level. Again, it's generally speaking, this is an uptrend moving that way. So a bias is to the upside still, right? So I think BTC is looking good. I do expect, like I've been talking about this, right? I started rotating out of alts when we got below this 50. And so every time I get a good spike on some alts, I trim a little bit. So like back here, I trimmed some DOT for Bitcoin because I came into a double top looking thing, came back into that resistance the second time, so I trimmed a little bit. I think I trimmed a little bit there too when we spiked up that morning. And now we're just watching it. Anytime they spike, I'll take a little profit off of these because I expect them in the very short term to fall into support levels versus Bitcoin as Bitcoin makes its next move. But we're below this 50, so for me, on the Bitcoin dominance chart, we're probably gonna see this big old huge sell-off we have. We're gonna have a bounce here into some level and then back down, right? So I'm expecting this bounce to happen here pretty soon. I don't want a log chart, I don't want to log. Yeah, 47 is an even lower support level here. We might come into that one. That's the one I had pegged a long time ago, that if we spike down below it. So, be looking. This is the perfect place in this area to look to rotate a little bit of your alts and back into BTC. Because when BTC does its melting faces, this is going to bounce into one of these levels. And maybe even something like that, right? I certainly don't know exactly what it's going to do. But I expect a bounce here soon. OMG USD, is it going up a lot? People ask about this a lot. Looking pretty decent. Don't short it, it's in an uptrend. There seems to be a theme around here lately. Yeah, so you gotta, all these touches down at the bottom is just easy peasy. And then you got a nice little channel here. Or something like that, You're in the middle of a channel. You probably got you could probably draw some of the lines in here. I don't know if they're really that important. Here's my Heath. There's a Heath level right there for you. The last time the market tried to go green, it got slammed down. I think I did this chart before. I did this chart on another live stream. You got to get above that. Get above that level right there where, this is your, you kind of range bound in here. So this is cool. You're consolidating right here between these two, ping-ponging around. You could, you could look to try to ride this back. I wouldn't. I'd have a bias to the upside. I'd just wait. And if you come back into support here, good time to maybe go long if you're just wanting to buy some long term. But otherwise, break this, get a resumption, trade that, run that to the top of this channel, maybe trim a little bit. And if you get it back above this channel, the second time you do this, you're probably headed for a nice big breakout. You had a little breakout there above that channel. If you get another one. But, this would be pretty good if you're wanting to trade it, ride that trade through there. There's probably a Heath level there, right through there, maybe. There's going to be a Heath level you probably want to look at taking some profit into and then taking some off and see if it continues up the top of that channel or not. So there's your levels. I'll just give you the levels I've got here. These are Heath levels. I got $6, roughly $7.92 and $9.30-ish, $9.29. These are your daily levels. All right, yeah, but looks good. What do I think of ONT? All these charts look good. I'm just gonna look at these charts. They're all the same chart. Some slight nuances. What do I think of ONT? Ontology. Oh yeah. 76, $1.5 billion market cap. It's got a long way to go. It's cross-chain, layer 2 scalability, blah, 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 blah. What is it about? All these things start to run together after a while. Basically, I go read these projects until I find some like key, like, nope. I have a couple of things I'm looking for. If I see that a project is doing one of 4 or 5 things, I just quit reading about them because I don't want to waste my time on it. I don't know. Is this a? Let me ask you this. I don't remember. Okay, hold on. What's their use case here? Is this a smart ID program? This is the trust. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Sovereign ID ID space. So the only problem. This is probably a really needed space. There are other platforms that can do this kind of built in. Now they kind of specialize in this identity, data attestation. So they have a few key solutions. It goes back to what's the upside? What's the market potential for? What's the market potential for this type of thing? And in the grand scheme of crypto, the platforms to me just all have so much more upside because you can build an infinite amount of things on them. Now, I believe, as I understand, this is its own chain, right? And they're building applications on top of their own chain. But I think this can be used as a layer 2 scaling as well. I don't know how they do that. If it's like a side chain, or if they're doing roll-ups or what they're doing here, but blah blah blah. So they've got some specific. I have to go read the white paper. Where the heck is the white paper? It's next-gen network of public blockchains, distributed trust-based, distributed identity framework, distributed exchange framework. There was something about this when I started getting to it. They had like one red flag. Otherwise, it was okay. It's just the markets they're going after. They've got a few specific markets to try to get some adoption. Just smart. It's really smart of them, honestly, to have a few very specific applications and areas they're going after to try to get adoption. So I don't blame them for that. It's just the markets they chose. I don't know if there's a huge upside for. I don't know how much hype around it there's going to be. It's a smart contract platform. Okay, yeah. What is consensus master? We'll read here. We go. Verifiable Lindsey fault tolerance, proof of stake, random function verification. It's very standard, very standard, very standard. Fork selection. Configuration. I'd have to probably do some more reading on this. It's probably not really beneficial to do live right now, but depause, yeah. So is this a depause or is this a full decentralized proof of stake? So they've got an oracle mechanism, okay. Data source. So they do have a built-in oracle mechanism, which is nice. I don't think I knew that. They're pretty complete. It looks like. I don't know how they're what the core tech looks like. I have to read up on their consensus mechanism and find out if it's full proof of stake. These things start to get lost in a sea. They're all using a lot of the same things at the end of the day, doing it slightly differently. I mean, this reads a lot like EOS. Like if I didn't know better, I think this is a fork of EOS, based on what I'm seeing. I don't know. All right, back to comments. I don't see any I don't have any clear and red flags about it though. I'll just say that much. That's all I can really say about it right now. ETHUSD, let's look at ETHUSD. Here's my channel. We're into channel resistance right now. Breakout to the upside of this would be beautiful. It's probably going to, given that it's going to follow Bitcoin. I expect it to lose versus Bitcoin, right? So, and I don't know. Like, I honestly don't. If it breaks, like, I'm follow the technicals, Jordan. That's where I'm at right now on ETH BTC. I don't know if Bitcoin makes a big run, if ETH just runs right alongside it, runs ahead of it, or falls behind. I honestly don't know what's going to happen with this next impulse. I think, based on past history, and the fact that Ethereum is gonna, the hype cycle is gonna move a little bit away from Ethereum to, oh, it's got all these competitors that are coming online, and you know, ETH is reliant on these layer 2 scaling solutions, which water down the core Ethereum a value prop a little bit. So I don't know what's going to happen with ETH BTC, but Bitcoin is likely to break out. Right? We've been talking about that. That's what I think is going to happen. So if Bitcoin makes a move, then ETH is likely going to break out here to the top side of this channel that I've got. You see, it's been right along, hugging along, and let's see if maybe my channel needs some work. You mean that touch right there? So we're right above it right now, technically speaking. Like if you looked at like a 12-hour, the daily shows that we went down below it and we came back above it. Now the 12-hour is, you know, we're coming back into it. But yeah, so it's trying to break out of this top side of this channel right now. If it breaks out, it's going to move. It'll move with Bitcoin is what it's going to be. It's just, does it keep pace with Bitcoin or does it outrun Bitcoin? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to guess that if Bitcoin makes a really big move, it's going to lag behind Bitcoin and then catch up later when Bitcoin consolidates. It's probably what's going to happen, which means that on this chart, what it's going to look like is ETH BTC is going to kind of come into some bounce into some resistance here, and as Bitcoin's making its run, ETH BTC is going to drop back here and find some support, and as Bitcoin consolidates, then you'll see ETH BTC move back this way to retest this breakout. You know, come back to test this breakout here. Is this a long-term breakout trend line that we have here? It hasn't really been tested, and we're coming into light resistance there. So if I zoom out enough on ETH BTC, you'll see where that comes from, right? It's a super long term. So we'll see. That's kind of what I think. I would imagine probably you'll get a little wiggle down at ETH BTC and then it'll catch back up. By the end of the cycle, but when it's all said and done, Ethereum's going to end up spiking up to, you know, somewhere in this area, probably at some point. So it's got a good run in front of it somewhere. It's just a matter of when. And it's just follow the technicals. So, yeah, I think ETH USD is looking great. If you want to actively trade it, let's see here. Yeah, this is my trend line. You know, if you want to clone my trend lines, you can see my prime trend line. I think is, yeah, this touch right here. This is my prime trend line. This bottom one. This touch right there, that touch there. So I've got a touch on the daily for you guys, so I can get the daily days. January 2nd, February 28th, and March 24th. Those three lows, I put a line right through them and I clone them. And then my top line is up here. You know, it's just that bottom clone line off that top touch right there. That's what we're coming into right now. Now, I bet you if you looked at fib levels or something, there's probably some other reason we're into resistance right here as well. But the trend line will help you with that market structure too, just well. Theta USD. And then I'm going to wrap up. I've been on this long enough. Don't short Bitcoin. All right, that's my opinion. Not financial advice. Theta, oh, it's been consolidating. Man, this thing broke out more than I ever thought it was. At some point, I was tracking a channel, huh? I broke out of that channel. That's for sure. I'm just gonna quickly do this one. And then the weekly, there's your resistance right there. You think here, that's going to be resistance. All right, and then let's go back to the 4 hour. Yeah, so you're just kind of range bound in here. This is a weekly level. There's another weekly level above it. You obviously saw those two candles, those the bodies of those weekly levels. So right through, say you can see it on the chart here, right? Price action coming in through here. Probably that week high is probably pretty close to it. You know, on Theta, I'm not going to draw, like, I see something here. You know, it tried to break out. It was a false breakout. It was a false breakout. You can kind of ignore it. And maybe, you know, what you would want to track for a trade on this guy is you can see that level right there I've got drawn in at 1178. You know, if you get above that level, that means you're also above this downtrend, and you're going for a second attempt at a breakout of this, you know, structure, this downtrend structure you've got here. I bet anything this turns into a channel pretty well too. Yeah, kind of riding this channel down a little bit. Yeah, break out of that channel, break out of that structure you got there to the upside. You definitely, again, back to the whole, it's an upside bias. Long term, look at the daily. But it's coming down, right? It's been fading since a peak on the 24th, and you've had a pretty nasty low come in to test this structure over here, and obviously it held. Yeah, so I mean, it's a bit of no man's land. I don't know that I would. It's not a chart I like to trade. You could probably play this Heath levels pretty well, though. You get above this, you're probably going up from 1178 to 1428. There may be a level in between there. Yeah, there's another weekly level. So you can probably play around those. But it moves so much, and I'm not a huge believer in the project long term. I'd be a little cautious. I'll just leave it at that. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up here. So AIG Stores says ADA doesn't have any actual contracts, just future plans. Yeah, sure. And Amazon only sold books at one point. All right. Anyway, you mean the biggest blockchain on Earth by users? They don't have any. They only have plans. Yep. And like I said, Amazon only sold books. They plan to sell more. There are plenty of people back here. Let's see here. Let's see how you would do. Here we go, right through here. Barnes and Nobles is going to eat their lunch. All they do is sell books. They can't do anything else. Let's see here. You got your face wrecked from $10 to $3,465. So anyway, have fun staying poor. Take care, everybody. Where's my Doge-wave? I gotta kill my other music. All right. Let's go to a different news song here.